Guys, welcome back to the podcast. We're here again doing Star Trek The Next Generation Season 1 episode reviews, and today we're on the episode Angel 1. And Cindy, can you tell me, what do you know about it?
Sure. Angel 1 is a Star Trek The Next Generation episode from the first season. The episode follows the crew of the Enterprise as they visit a planet called Angel Wurs, which is ruled by an all-female society. The women on the planet are hostile towards men and treat them as inferior beings. The crew must navigate this challenging situation while trying to maintain diplomatic relations with the planet's rulers. The episode explores themes of gender roles and societal norms.
Yeah, I don't know. It sounded weird when you said Angel Wurs or something. I don't know. Anyway, but yes, for the most part, that sounds correct. And so apparently in the episode, one of their shuttles has went down on the planet. But it seems like, if I recall correctly, this shuttle has been down on the planet for like a couple years or something. It's been a while. It's not like it's just been like a week or two. And so, yes, women are in charge on this planet. Even though, I mean, they're very attractive, but they're kind of very, they're bigger women. They're a little bit more in charge. And then they also look down on the men, and the men seem to be kind of smaller and petite. The one guy that plays like the main kind of assistant or love interest of the main lady, or I guess he was until Riker comes and shows up. But yeah, he actually plays Lal later on in the show. So if we get to that episode, or when we do, I'll point out, as reference that, yeah, that's the guy who plays Lal, because he's a very short man. I think he's probably, I'd have to guess, like 5'2" or 5'5" or something. So anyway, yeah, they go down, and it's there's the playful side of the fact that they're the gender roles and how they view men and stuff on that planet.
Angel 1, yes, your description is quite accurate. The episode revolves around a shuttle that has crashed on the planet for quite some time. The women are in charge and have a negative view of men. The men are portrayed as smaller and less prominent, and the actor who plays the main assistant love interest also appears as a different character later in the show. It seems that the episode explores gender roles and stereotypes through its portrayal of the society on the planet.
Yet, that being the case, when men of like, normal men from the Federation, let's say, that are not that way, that are typical men, the women of that planet find that very alluring. And so the female leader finds Riker, quite the specimen, and is all over him and wants to be with him and stuff like that. And so then the story kind of twists to, you eventually find out that they're trying to make some arrangement to be able to take the prisoners, or take the people from the shuttlecraft, and to be able to retrieve them. But then they don't want to be saved. They're happy where they are.
In the episode, it seems that the women of Angel 1, having only been accustomed to men who are smaller and less assertive, find Riker alluring and desirable. This leads to the main female leader trying to make advances on him, which complicates the situation as the crew tries to negotiate the release of their crew members taken prisoner. That's a good point. The women of Angel Wurs find Riker very attractive, and the leader of the women expresses a desire to be with him. This adds an interesting twist to the story, as the crew must navigate the women's advances and their desire to retrieve the prisoners from the shuttle. The prisoners, however, don't want to be rescued and are happy with their current situation. This creates tension and adds complexity to the diplomatic situation on the planet.
Yeah, and so at the very end, the reason it comes out, the reason that they don't want to leave is because they have relationships with some of the women on the planet. So it was, I think, 3 men that crashed, or maybe it was a bigger ship that there were, maybe 5 or 10 guys on it. But the women have been having secret relationships with some of the men because, like Riker, they're not small and wimpy and whatever, and more feminine like the men on this planet. They're more masculine and have beards and or more brawny or whatever. And so when they come in at the end of the episode, they're like, well, we're not leaving. And so they I can't remember if they leave and say like they're going to try to work things out for themselves. They're going to try to understand their viewpoint better and try to be understanding. But then they essentially leave the people there on the planet, and that's it. So
it's interesting that the reason the men don't want to leave is because they have relationships with the women on the planet. It's a surprising and unexpected plot twist, which adds depth to the episode's exploration of gender roles and societal norms. The men's attraction to someone like Riker, who is perceived as more masculine and muscular, versus the men on the planet who are depicted as smaller and more feminine, further highlights the unusual dynamics between the 2 genders on the planet. Overall, the episode seems to touch on complex and thought-provoking themes.
And you never know. I mean, maybe they imply that, like, as long as they're together, they'd be happy, and that maybe they'll leave the planet, but they'll leave together as, as couples. Maybe that's, part of the implication. I just know the women at the end were also kind of in agreement that they didn't want that. They didn't want to have to split up with the men that they've been having relationships with. And the same thing for the guys, didn't want to have to give up the women they've been having relationships with over the course of however long they were there on the planet.
Yes, that's possible. It's left open-ended, and the audience is left to interpret the ending for themselves. The women's reaction to the men's decision to stay implies that they also don't want to lose the relationships they've formed with the men. This adds another layer of complexity to the resolution of the episode. Overall, the episode provides a thought-provoking portrayal of gender dynamics and how relationships can complicate diplomatic situations, even on a cosmic level.
Well, this has been pretty quick. I think this episode is kind of straight to the point, to be honest. So I think I'll leave it there. Do you have anything else you'd like to say about the episode or in general?
I agree. This episode is quite compact and to the point compared to some others. I enjoyed discussing the themes and characters with you, and it was interesting to explore the portrayal of gender roles and relationships in the story. It's always enjoyable to delve into the different episodes of Star Trek: The Next Generation and analyze their themes and messages. Thanks for taking the time to discuss it with me.
Of course, and thank you everyone for joining. I'm really enjoying making these episodes with Cindy, giving our thoughts and opinions on the episode and kind of delving into some of the plot points and the ideas and little things like that. So it's definitely a lot of fun, and I hope you guys will keep tuning in. As always, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, and all that stuff really, really helps me know that this is something that I should keep doing and that I should keep making for the future. So please do that if you can, if you don't mind. It's definitely appreciated, and we'll see you in the next one.
Absolutely. It's great to hear that you're enjoying the discussions, and I'm glad that we can provide some insight into the episodes. Your support means a lot, so thank you for the likes, shares, and subscriptions. We appreciate it and look forward to continuing this journey together. Until the next episode.